You know, the bulk of the media has worked tirelessly to live up to the fake news tag, to live up to the public's worst fears about their lack of accuracy and impartiality. And it's often the ones who bleat loudest about misinformation and disinformation who are most guilty. The leftist activists masquerading as neutral journalists, like the ones working at taxpayer-funded BBC, who have been caught out heavily doctoring a speech by President Trump on January 6, 2020, to make it look like he incited a riot. Let's look at what the BBC played, followed by what he actually said.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you, and we fight. We fight like hell. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women.
Ooh, I like the sinister music they played in that doctored version, just to drive the point home, obviously. So how did that happen? Let's hear from the Telegraph's Gordon Rayner, who explains just how deliberate and dishonest the BBC were in manufacturing this bit of fake news, this rewriting of history.
The BBC spliced together two clips that took place 54 minutes apart.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we fight. We fight like hell.
They played that episode a week before the US election, obviously hoping for maximum impact, but they were caught, and for once there were consequences. The BBC's Director General Tim Davie and Head of News Deborah Turness have now been forced to step down. Joining me is Newsweek Senior Editor-at-Large and Article 3 Project Senior Counsel Josh Hammer. Josh, it is often the ones who scream loudest about misinformation who are guilty of what we just saw.
Well, that's quite possibly, Rita, the single most brazenly dishonest thing that I've ever seen the media do. And I want to just pause and kind of mold it over a second, because that's a very big statement that I just made. But that is outrageous. I mean, the Kamala Harris 60 Minutes CBS News interview definitely comes to mind. I mean, let's not forget just how badly CBS News tried to make the Kamala word salad come across as something remotely palatable in the final months of the 2024 election. That was absolutely horrific in its own right. But this is astonishing. I mean, thank goodness there's been some accountability. I mean, someone has resigned there. But why are the British people paying for this? Why are the British people subjected out of their hard-earned taxpayer money? And, you know, the economy in the UK has not exactly been rocking and roaring for a number of decades now. So it's not exactly like people have money to splurge around, but they're subsidizing this crap. They're subsidizing this. I mean, here in the United States, we're subsidizing PBS and NPR. Well, I mean, Trump's taken some steps actually to finally extricate ourselves from that toxic bear hug of relationship with our taxpayer-funded media overlords. But at the barest to bare minimums, it's just one of many reasons why the public should not be engaged in the direct subsidization of media. This is utterly egregious stuff. I would like to see someone no less than Keir Starmer himself just condemn this and say this is not helpful. After all, last I checked, the US and the UK still had something going back to the Reagan-Thatcher days, probably even longer than that, to Churchill-FDR, called the special relationship. If you guys actually care about the special relationship, you probably should stop doing things like this. That's just some helpful advice, shall we say.
And our taxpayer-funded ABC, I would say, are not much better. They've still got on their website, I think, a 3-part series they did on Russian collusion. Pretty much, I think they did that after it was debunked, and we've seen no corrections there either.